Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Your Disabled Joy. My name is Nico Meyering, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a white man with parted blonde hair, wearing large blue and brown spectacles, a pink long sleeve button up shirt, and a black headset. I'm seated against a tan wall, and like about 20% of the global population, I'm disabled. Non disabled people might see our lives and experiences as tragic, sad, pitiful, but I don't know, guys. I've been disabled a pretty long time now, and I think there's also room for disabled joy. Our disability community has as many opinions as it has members, which is why I've asked my friend Laura here with me today to talk about disabled joy. Hi, Laura. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, Nico. Thank you so much for having me today. I am a white female um, woman um, seated in seated in a chair in front of a white background, and I have my hair up in a bun. I don't think you can see that, but I just told you that. Dark speckled glasses and a black sweater and a green tank top underneath. And I do not use any pronouns.
Fantastic. Thank you, Laura. Can you share a joyful memory with me? It could
Yes,
have to do with your disability, or it could be totally separate.
yes. Yes, thank you. Great question. I love this. Um, I was so excited to share this. I have a lot of things to share, but let me just say that one thing that comes to mind is I will go further in depth in what I do for work in a minute here, but one thing for sure I can tell you is my position right now for my field of the work I'm in. Okay, I'll just cut right to the chase and tell you what I do. Um, I am a disability consultant slash benefits coach. It's tongue twister. For a company called Inclusive Networking in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We teach or yeah, we teach employers, Fortune 500 companies or small companies how to become more inclusive for hiring people with disabilities. We use our own version of the customized employment model. And so we create customized positions for people with disabilities within those companies. And on the other side of that, I'm a benefits coach. So I help people in Minnesota um, with their um, cash assistance, federal, state benefits. Um, I help them navigate the system with Social Security on their benefits. Again, it's a tongue twister, and I kind of gotta be like, okay, okay, deep breath. Okay, let me just say this. I hope you understand, but that's what I do. And I just wanted to say that getting this position, I really wanted a position like this for so long. But you know, like like with everyone, we have to wait for a position that we want to come along, whether we have to do something else for a little bit until something that piques our interest comes along. And I remember being let go of my previous position, and I was unemployed for 9 months because I really wanted my next position to be a position where I can help individuals with disabilities persevere and advocate for themselves, both professionally in the workplace and personally. And My disabled joy is I got the position, I manifested for myself, and it really came on all of a sudden, and I didn't give up. And I said no to jobs who I said no to my former employees who offered me my previous jobs in the past. I said no, I'm better or I've moved on to bigger and better things. And I want this kind of position, but I didn't really know what it would look like until it kind of all just flew or came on my lap, fell into my lap. So I'm really thankful. That's my disabled joy. I didn't give up. I had a positive attitude. I persevered and advocated for myself, and it came true. So, yes.
Thank you, Laura.
Yes.
I love hearing that story. That's fantastic. And thank you for the work you do. Employment processes, bureaucratic processes for disabled people, that can be very overwhelming. So I'm glad you're there to guide them through it.
Yes, you're welcome.
How has your disability interacted or impacted with how you pursue joy or find that happiness for yourself?
That's a great question because like I previously stated, I've always had a persevering, positive mindset. And yes, I'm not lying when I say that, but I definitely have had my down days, and I want to give up at what I'm trying to accomplish, either personally or professionally, like, oh, never gonna work out because I don't know if I said this before, but so I have cerebral palsy. I was born with it. And, when I was growing up, like after high school, I knew that college wasn't right for me. I didn't want to go through the process of going to school again. I worked really hard in high school and elementary school. I didn't want to go through it again. So I didn't know what was for me. And I, like 10 years ago, I definitely had my down days about, my dream is never going to come true. Like, I have a disability. No one's going to want me. But, okay. And yes, we're not talking about that because I have moved on from that. Yes, I do have down days. Everyone does. But I just, I make sure I am mentally, emotionally stay or at a happy place in my life. I make sure I'm doing things that make me happy, whether that's doing activities alone or with people. I myself got to make sure I am happy. And, we have disabilities, you and I, Nico, and you guys watching, and yes, we have limitations, but that should not affect our joy because we can have the things that non-disabled people can have if we want them, and putting our happiness towards that and our joy. So I hope that answers your question, Nico. I kind of went all around my answer here, but yes.
That's okay. It sounds like, well, what I hear you saying is rather that you have this very intentional way of seeking out joy and maintaining your own emotional health, which is really important because so many of us don't have those supports otherwise. So we need to be resilient, to use that word.
Thank you, Nico. You are so good at summarizing things because I can tell I tend to go on and on about my answers, and sometimes it can get a little overwhelming. So for you to summarize what I'm saying, great. To make it simple. Yes.
No problem, Laura. Laura, my third question is, if you had like a magic megaphone, right? If you could tell the whole world just one thing about disabled life and disabled quality of life, what would that be?
Wow, I love this question. if I had a microphone and I'm imagining myself talking right now, I don't want to speak loud into my microphone here, Nico, and your
I
headphones,
appreciate
but
that.
but just imagine me speaking up really loud. I just wanted to say to everyone, even though we have disabilities, limitations, it doesn't define who we are. And I know some people with disabilities, they identify themselves with someone with a disability, and that's great. But it doesn't affect who we are as a person. We all want to, we all want to live with joy, and we all, we all want the same things, and we're people with feelings, and just because we do things a certain way doesn't make us weird or not friendly at all. We just do things our way, and it doesn't care what anybody thinks. So that's my answer to you.
That's a fantastic answer. Thank you, Laura. My last planned question is one that I ask all my guests, regardless of project. Is there a recent project or a recent win that you're celebrating that you want to name so that we can celebrate it alongside you, or any recent projects you've got going on? And if you're up for connecting, where can people find you online? This is your chance to really brag, be your own cheerleader. So feel free to promote yourself. Let's hear it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I have several joys I want to share that I'm so happy to share with you all. As I've said previously, I am a benefits coach for individuals navigating their Social Security benefits in the state of Minnesota and other state and federal benefits in Minnesota. But I am in addition to that, I am furthering my education further and attending my first ever college course to go more in depth with this training of benefit coaching. Isn't that out of this world? I said college is not right for me. I don't want to do it. I just don't. I know I can do it with speaking up with for my accommodations and what I need and everything, but I didn't want to do it. Surprise! I surprised myself, and I am attending Cornell University and earning credentials for becoming a work incentive practitioner. So basically, I will be able to help people, individuals in Minnesota on benefits with complex benefit situations. So, like if an individual would love to work full time, and, because, okay, you can work while you're on benefits, but if you want to work full time, and risk losing a little bit of your benefits, I'd be able to help with that. And positively, not negative, positively, because you'd be earning more money by working, and subtracting your benefits. Yes, so I'm so excited I get to do this course. It's online, and I love my instructors, and I'm a nerd. I love the material. It's complex and maybe boring to others, but not to me. Nope, I love it. I'm thriving. And then I also wanted to share that happened recently. I was on a statewide Minnesota panel talking about independent living for people with disabilities, what independent living means to me. And I received huge praise from my company, from my team members, but not only from my team members and the the people who hosted it, but I actually got an email from the state of Minnesota, and they invited me to apply for this statewide training program for people with disabilities. And I am so excited. So it's an advocacy leadership training program where you learn how to speak and how to speak more and have a speak professionally, I should say, and develop a relationship with state representatives and legislators, and talking about the importance of advocacy and improving the lives of Minnesotans with disabilities. And it's funny because I had my eye on this course for so long, and it wasn't that I didn't think I was good enough for taking it. I didn't know if I was ready or not, or I just kind of ignored it because it's a intense 8-month program. Okay. So I remember the lady who emailed me about this opportunity to apply for this program. And I'm like, wow, I cannot believe this is put in my path again, So I'm gonna apply for this training program, and I need you guys to realize when you want something and it hasn't happened yet, but you believe it will happen for you. Keep that mindset. It will happen eventually, because when it does, you're going to be amazed at when it comes. You'll be like, I'm ready to take this. So I'm so excited for these 2 opportunities that have come my way. And in addition to keep on following me and see what I'm up to, you can find me on good old LinkedIn. I believe my LinkedIn name is Laura Andert. Just type in Laura Andert in Minnesota, Laura Andert, Minnesota. And I do have an Instagram page, and it is for updates that keep on coming up for me. You can follow me at Andert, ANDERT_LAURA. I know that's kind of odd, my last, or maybe it's not odd, but I wanted Laura Andert, but they already had a Laura Andert. So I did my last name first, and then the underscore Laura, all lowercase. So those 2 networks or social media outlets you can find me at. So thank you, everyone. And most of all, thank you, Nico, for this incredible conversation. I loved it.
Of course, Laura, thank you for everything you're doing to make Minnesota a more inclusive state for disabled people seeking employment. That's really fantastic. Thank you for all you do. I loved checking in with you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Audience, tune in next time. And remember, I'm rooting for you.